Next chapter, algorithmic strategies. Algorithm is the first step that we are going to do develop a program. So first, introduction to algorithm strategies. What is meant by an algorithm? It means a finite set of instructions to accomplish a particular task. It is a step-by-step procedure for solving the given problem. An algorithm can be implemented using any suitable programming language. Algorithms must have input, output, and satisfying the following characteristics. Input, output. Its characteristics are definiteness, correctness, and effectiveness. Data are maintained and manipulated effectively through data structures. Algorithm can be developed to store, manipulate, and retrieve data from such data structures. Examples for data structures are arrays, structures, lists, tuples, dictionary, etc. Next one is search. Search yields to search an item. A linear search and binary search is used. In sorting in the sense ascending order or descending order. You have to arrange given sequences in ascending order or descending order. For that sorting, bubble sort, insertion sort, and selection sorts are very useful. Then you can insert a data or you can update a data. Then deletion of a data. Okay, these are the 5 options that are majorly used in any program. Okay. The way of defining an algorithm is called algorithmic strategy. For example, calculate the factorial for the given value of n. Then it can be done by defining a function to calculate factorial once for the iteration 1. Then it can be called recursively until the number of required iteration is reached. Next one is characteristics of algorithm. It's an important 5 mark question. 5 mark. So input must be there, output for a corresponding input there must be at least an output. Finiteness. It should be considered with the finite number of steps. Algorithm must terminate after the finite number of steps. Definiteness. Operation should be well defined. That is what the program is going to do and what is its expected output. Effectiveness. How far it is useful and how far it is useful and time consumption is very less, that should be considered. Correctness. The output must be proper. It should come without any error. Simplicity. It can be easily implemented in any language. And ambiguous. Algorithm should be clear and unambiguous. That is, it must not give any confusion to the programmer or the user. Feasibility. It should be feasible with the available source. What are the things that are available for the programmer that can be utilized properly? Portable. Algorithm should be generic, independent of any programming language so that it can be used in any part of the program. Independent. An algorithm should have step-by-step directions which should be independent of any programming language. These are the characteristics of algorithm. Next one. How we are going to write an algorithm. That is writing an algorithm. Okay, listen. Algorithms are generic and not limited to computer alone. Okay, generic and not limited to computer alone. It can be used in real-time activities also, knowingly or unknowingly. Whether we are using the algorithm on particular place by knowing or unknowingly. We can perform algorithms in our daily life, such as Packing of books. Consider the situation packing of books in school bag. Okay. We are getting ready for the next day of the school. How we are going to pack the book in your school bag. Finding the shortest path to search a place. Scheduling day-to-day activities. Preparation of examination, etc. As we know that all programming languages share basic or concepts like conditions and iterations can be used to write the algorithm. A typical algorithm is shown in the form input process output. We can consider mm, riding a bike. Ride a bike. To ride a bike, what are the things we need to know? Whether petrol is available in the bike. Then bike condition is good. Then whether function of bike is proper. After that only you can ride a bike. That is, you have to think about this and then you have to complete the task. Before going to start a task, we need to consider all the conditions. Once the conditions is successful, you can complete the task. That is what algorithm means. Yeah. Consider this example. How to make a coffee. Consider an example of a coffee preparation. To make a coffee, you need the following ingredients: water, milk, coffee powder, sugar. Our problem is to make a coffee. Okay, our problem is to make a coffee. For that, what are the requirements we need is water, milk, coffee powder, and sugar. The ingredients are put into an algorithm. Preparing a cup of coffee is called a process. The output is called the process of coffee. Output of this process is a coffee. So input, these are the things are inputs like water, milk, coffee powder and sugar are inputs. Now first thing, you have to take a bowl with coffee powder. Boil a water and pour it in the bowl. Filter it, then boil the milk, mix sugar and filtered coffee along with boiled milk, pour the coffee. This kind of procedure can be represented using an algorithm. Thus, the algorithm consists of step-by-step instructions that are required to approach a task and helps the programmer to develop the program. Next, problem. So consider that we are going to design an algorithm to find square of a given number. Displaying here is, for example, 2 is the number. What is the square of 2? 2 into 2, which is equal to 4. 3 is the number. What is in 3 into 3 equal to 9. In our case, we can consider x, and what we are going to do is x into x, which is x square. That is what we are going to do. First, start the process. 2 is the number which is given by the user. Here 3 is the number which is given by the user. So, we are getting an input from the user, that is x. Calculate the square by multiplying the input value, that is multiplying the input by itself gives us a square. Next, display the result and stop. Algorithm could be designed to get a solution of a given problem. The problem can be solved in many ways. Among many ways, algorithms are the one that can be taken for implementation. Important two more questions. An algorithm that yields expected output for a valid input is called algorithmic solution. Expected output for a valid input. Next, difference between algorithm and program. Three, 2 mark or 3 mark question. Even it can be asked in 5 mark. Algorithm helps to solve. Program is an expression of algorithm categorized based on their implementation methods, design technique, etc. Algorithm can be implemented by structured or object-oriented programming approach. There is not an algorithm, it is program can be implemented. There is no specific rules for algorithm writing, but some guidelines should be followed. Written for the selected language with specific syntax. Syntax is more important when you create a program. Algorithm resembles a pseudocode which can be implemented in any language. Program is more specific to programming language. Okay, this is the difference between algorithm as well as program. Now, analysis of an algorithm. Computer resources are limited. Efficiency of algorithm is defined by utilization of time and space complexity. These are the two things that determine the efficiency of an algorithm. Analysis of algorithm usually deals with running and execution of time, various operations involved. The running time of an operation is calculated how many programming instructions executed per operation. Analysis of an algorithm and performance evaluation can be divided into two phases: priori estimates, posteriori testing. Posteriori testing. Priori estimates. This is a theoretical performance analysis of an algorithm. Efficiency of an algorithm is measured. Efficiency performance analysis. Efficiency of an algorithm is measured by assuming external factors. Priori. This is called performance measurement. In this analysis, actual statistics like running time and required for algorithm executions are collected. An estimation of time and space complexities of an algorithm for various inputs is called algorithm analysis. Next, complexity of an algorithm. There are two complexities: time and space. How much time is required to perform an algorithm, and how much space, that is memory size, is required. Maximum memory space is required to complete an algorithm. There is These are the two things that decides the complexity of an algorithm. The complexity of an algorithm f of n gives the running time or storage space. Running time or storage space required by the algorithm. Time complexity. Time complexity of an algorithm is given by number of steps taken by the algorithm to complete the process. Space complexity of an algorithm is required amount of memory required to run to its completion. Space required by an algorithm is equal to sum of the following components. Fixed part, sum of the following components. Fixed part, variable part. Fixed part is defined as a 2 total space required to store certain data and variables. Variable part is defined as total space required by variables which sizes depends on problem and its iteration. Computer resources are limited. Next one is efficiency of an algorithm. How efficient an algorithm is. Computer resources are limited that should be utilized efficiently. The efficiency of an algorithm is defined by number of computational resources used by an algorithm. An algorithm must be analyzed to determine its resource usage. The efficiency of an algorithm can be measured based on the usage of different resources. For maximum efficiency of an algorithm, we wish to minimize resource usage. The important resources such as time and space complexity cannot be compared directly. So time and space complexity could be considered for algorithmic efficiency. Method for determining efficiency of an algorithm. The efficiency of an algorithm depends on how efficiency it uses its time and memory space. The time efficiency of an algorithm is measured by different factors. For example, write a program for defined algorithm, execute it by using any programming language, and measure total time taken. So, the execution time that you measure in this case could be depend on the number of factors such as speed of the machine, compiler and other systems of the tools, operating system, programming language, and volume of data. Two more questions. However, to determine how efficiently an algorithm solves a given problem, you should like to determine how the execution time is affected by the nature of the algorithm. Therefore, we need to develop fundamental laws that determine the efficiency of a program in the terms of nature of underlying algorithm. A way of designing algorithm is called algorithmic strategy. Next one is space time trade off. From the name itself, you can understand we are going to manage space and time. If space is required, time has to be compromised, and time is required, space has to be compromised. Trade off is a way solving in less time by using more storage space or by solving algorithm in very little space by spending more time. Okay. To solve given programming problem, many different algorithms can be used. Some of these algorithms can be extremely time efficient and other are extremely space efficient. Time or space trade-off refers to situation where you can reduce the use of memory at the cost of slower program execution or reduce the running time at the rate of increased memory usage. That is more more time, less storage memory, or more storage, less time. When you perform the task in a short period of time, see, use of memory, slower programming execution. You can reduce the use of memory. Memory size can be reduced and time of execution is increased. Low memory means more time. Low time means more memory. The best algorithm to solve a given problem is one that requires less space in memory and takes less time to execute. Asymptotic notations. Asymptotic notations are languages that uses meaningful statements about the time and space complexity. The following are the asymptotic notations. Big O, big omega, used to the case. Worst case in the sense it is not efficient, effective or efficient. Big omega is the reverse of big O. Describe upper bound of asymptotic notation. Big O it means upper bound. Omega means lower bound. That is best case. Big O gives the worst case. Big omega gives the best case of this. When an algorithm has complexity with lower bound equal to upper bound, say that an algorithm has a complexity of O of n log n and omega big O of n log n, omega of n log n, it's actually a complexity of, which means running time of an algorithm always falls in n log n in the best case as well as worst case. There are three cases: best, worst, and average case efficiency. Let us assume a list of n number of values sorted in an array. Suppose if we want to search a particular element in the list, the algorithm searches the key element in the list among the n elements by comparing the key element with each element in the list sequentially. Best case would be if the first element in the list first element matches with the key, the element to be searched in the list of elements, the efficiency of the case would be O of 1 because one comparison is enough. Worst case, that is, I'm searching through all the elements in the list, but I couldn't able to find, would be the element is found at the end or is not found. In this case, the efficiency of an algorithm is O of n because n comparisons are required to complete the search. Average case is that obtaining the obtained by finding average number of comparisons as given below. Minimum is 1, maximum comparison is n. If the element not found, then the maximum number of comparison is equal to n. Average is equal to n plus 1 by 2. Best case plus worst case by 2. Average case efficiency is expressed as O of n. Next is an important 5 mark question. Even it can be asked in your engineering. This is the most important question. All the algorithms or all the search operations is done based on this linear search. There are two types of search, linear search and binary search in your syllabus. So first we are going to see about linear search. Linear search. Linear search is also called sequential search. Is a sequential method for finding the particular value in the list. This method checks the search element with each element in sequence until the desired element is found or the list is exhausted. In this searching algorithm, list may not be ordered. Okay. In this searching algorithm, list may not be ordered. Traverse the array using for loop. First we can see the example and then we can find. Okay. Listen. Listen. So always the index starts from 0, 1, 2, 3, 4. But we have 5 numbers. Is it clear? We are going to search number 25 in the series. First 25 will be compared with index 0. Value of index 0 is 10. It is not equal. Next, value of index 1 is 12. 12 is not equal to 25. Condition fails. Next, going to search the index 2. Value is 20. Again, it is not possible. And value of index 3 is 25. It matches. 25 is found at the index 3. For this, we are going to see the algorithm. First, traverse the array using for loop. Traverse in the sense repetition. In every iteration, compare the target search key value with the current value of the list. If the values match, display the current index and value of the array. Does not match, move to the next array. No match is found, display element is not found. Okay. Here they are given another two examples. 5, 34, 65. We are going to, our target is 77. First, you can assume the index 0, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. So, comparing 5 with 77, 34 with 77, 65 with 77, 12 with 77, 77 with 77, index is 4. That's why our output is 4. Here, input value is 101. First, assigning its index 4, 5, 6, 7. 392, 154, 32, 22, 90, 93. Target is 200. Comparing 200 with the list of elements, it is not found. So it is returning value as -1 and not found. So this is the linear search. About binary search, it's called off interval search algorithm. Sorted array. The binary search of algorithm can be divided by divide and conquer method. Pseudocode for binary search. It's very simple. First, we are going to find the start with the middle element. For that, we are going to find the mid value. Mid value is equal to number of elements in the array divided by 2. First, we are going to start with the mid value. If not, compare the middle element with the search value. If the search element is greater, search element greater than number of middle index, then search elements to the right side. If the search element less than the middle, move to the left side. When the match is found, display success. If it is not found, display unsuccessful message. Okay. In binary search, sorting has to be taken first, sorted first for binary search. Sorting in the sense it is arranged in ascending order. See, 10, 20, 30, 40, it is arranged in increasing order. Okay. 0, 1, 2, 3 are its index. The following example describes the step-by-step operation of a binary search. Consider the following array of elements. The array is being sorted, so it enables to do binary search algorithm. First condition is you have to check whether it is sorted. Next, let us assume that the search element is 60. We're going to assume the search element to be 60. Search element, okay. First, we have to find the middle element. Middle is equal to low plus I. What is the low index? 0. I index is 9. So 0 plus 9 minus 0 by 2. 0 plus 4.5 will be coming. We can round it off to 4. Its value is 4. So now we are going to compare with the 4. Comparing 60 with 50. 60 with 50. 60 is greater than 50. So our search operation should continue in the right side. That is what they are given here. Search element is greater than the number of middle index, then the elements to be then select the elements to the right side. That is what we are going to do. We have to select right side. Now the new lower value is 4. Low value is 4 and I value is 9, not 0. Is it clear? So for that, 4 plus 9 minus 4 by 2 equal to 4 plus 9 minus 4, 5 by 2, 2.5 which is equal to 6. So now the new mid value is 6. Now you are going to compare 60 with 70. On comparing 60 with 70, 60 is lower than 70. So we are going to search on its left side, that is between 4 and 6. Is it clear? We are going to compare between 4 and 4 is 50, which is not matched with the search element. As we see, 60 is greater. Now we can change our mid value to mid plus 1. Already what we have, mid plus 1, that is Already you have middle value as 6. Now it is 6 plus 1, which is 7 is our mid value. I made a mistake. Our new value is 7 is our mid value. Comparing this with the previous one. 70, comparing 70 with 80. Sorry. Yeah, comparing these two. Lower value. So our search must be continued in the left side of the by repeating this we will find the right match as 60. In this way the algorithm is continued until we get a right match. So formula is important. Low plus I minus low by 2. Going to search in the left side. So the low value is 4. So we will get a 7 as the middle value. On searching it 7, we won't find any. So mid value will become 5. On searching 5 is compared to 16. So the value is matched. Okay, with this searching algorithm is over. Next class we can see about sorting techniques.